For more on the latest surrounding Hunter Biden, let's bring in New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who also serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, a lot of observers, friendly to the president and the Democratic side, say that Hunter Biden swatted away all the questions, answered the questions, and it's clear, in their view, there is no corruption involving him or his father. Your take?
Oh, come on. I mean, that's just ridiculous to say. Let's really analyze and read through what he said. First of all, he had selective, drug-induced, alcohol-induced amnesia. At least he claimed it did. So he doesn't remember a lot of what happened. But he even had to admit that his father was there at a lot of meetings. His father was on telephone calls. His father was on golf outings. His father went to dinners. I mean, it's all there to be seen. And obviously, what Joe Biden himself said initially was not true. When first asked, he said he didn't have any interaction. He didn't know anything about his businesses. Well, if he was golfing with them, eating with them, listening to them, talking to them, he obviously did know and obviously was involved, number one. Secondly, let's just take a look at the money that the Biden family and associates have accumulated. Over $20 million from Kazakhstan, from Russia, from China, from Romania, and many other countries as well. That's just not normal. That's weird. There's something going on, obviously, and we need to know and drill down and find out more about that. So there's a lot there. He didn't, anytime he didn't want to answer a question, he just said, well, I don't remember. It could have been because of drugs or alcohol. Millions upon millions of dollars were transferred in all these processes. I mean, come on, when millions of dollars are being transferred. He certainly knew how to spend it, and he certainly knew how to not pay his taxes.
Jim Jordan's committee is looking for four Department of Justice attorneys to come in and testify regarding what they know about the Hunter Biden investigation. They're getting pushback from the Department of Justice because the Department of Justice says, it's not time, it's not appropriate, they don't have any information for you. Isn't it Congress's job to oversee the administration?
Absolutely. It's part of Congress's job. Certainly on Judiciary Committee, which I sit on that committee with Jim Jordan. He's the chairman, and he's a great chairman, and he's going to continue to push hard. We all are, and we need to know this information. Let me tell you, if Jim Jordan wasn't the chairman, if we didn't have a Republican majority on that committee, all this stuff about Hunter, none of it would be known. The weaponizing of the FBI, it wouldn't have been known. What happened with the Department of Justice wouldn't have been known. Sending undercover agents or trying to into Roman Catholic churches wouldn't have been known. It matters who's in charge. It matters who the majority is. We know so much. We've looked into this. And at the very least, if you don't believe it's impeachable, you certainly got to think that it's morally corrupt, wrong, and it has to change.
Let's turn our attention to the dueling border visits this week. Former President Trump and President Biden both visited the border. The sitting president, President Biden, says that Republicans in Congress are to blame for the border situation. Your response?
Well, first of all, boy, that was dueling appearances. President Trump was strong. He was engaged. He was moving around. He was watching what was going on. He encountered some illegals coming across. He was very, very engaged, and that's very important. Where Biden himself, President Biden, was kind of meandering around and just coming up with little statements like the one you brought up. Let me be clear for everybody who's listening and watching this. He tomorrow can button up that border. President Trump did it. Number one. So that's just not truthful. He has the power as president, and he keeps thinking by saying, and the Democrats keep thinking by saying that rely on Congress. That's wrong. He's used executive action to undo the good things that were going on the border. He undid everything that Trump did by executive action. He could put it all back in place. And when we talk about the bill itself that the Senate produced, that is shameful. It was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for those that signed on to that bill in the Senate. They couldn't even get it through the Senate, even though it's democratically controlled. It didn't do anything really about catch and release. It just put another face on it. It was going to give money to sanctuary cities. It was going to do nothing about immediately expediting to the country of origin, nothing about Title 42 or something like it that would work. It just didn't do anything at all except codify, legalize, and give them excuse to actually bring illegals over into the United States of America. No matter how many times Gallup says it's a good bill, it was a bad bill, and it was worse than doing nothing. It was a crime that that's what they produced.
It would have allowed 5,000 people a day to walk in illegally. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, thank you very much. We got to say goodbye. Thanks.